Website keeps locals up to date through its Facebook page, followed by 6,500 residents, and is not a registered media outlet. But this morning, it too was shut down. Jackie Barker is the founder of In the Cove. She joins me now. Jackie, thanks very much for your time. So talk us through, first of all, your organisation. Give our viewers a sense of what it's all about.
Hi, Kieran. In the Cove is a hyperlocal website that unashamedly just concentrates on the local government area of Lane Cove. And we look at local issues, local news, local events, local businesses, you name it. If it's got something to do with Lane Cove, we will look at it. And when COVID hit, In the Cove was the only source of local news. North Shore Times went, the Village Observer went. We were the only source where people could get accurate information about COVID and Lane Cove.
Okay, and talk us through now the impact of the Facebook blockage or the bans on news sites. How will that affect you?
It's a huge impact to hyperlocal sites, and hyperlocal is a movement that is growing in Australia, and it's very big in the UK, and it was just starting to get this really big push in Australia, and this is going to basically stop that. Now, I am lucky in that I have several different platforms. I've got a podcast, I've got a newsletter, I've got Instagram, but the number one way in which we get out our news items is via the Facebook page. People say to me that that's the first thing they check in the morning is the Facebook page, and that is the majority of clicks through to our website. And it's easier for people to click on the Facebook page than it is to go to our website and look through it. Even though I think our website is very well set out, the fact of the matter is Facebook is much easier.
I'm sure it's a fine website, Jackie. And the other thing is, I guess the question to you is, as someone with that hyperlocal news service In the Cove, can you move to, say, just purely an email service where you email your updates and then have links to the site? Is there a mechanism by which you can get around the Facebook behaviour?
Well, actually, I've been working on this. A couple of years ago, I went to the World Social Media Marketing Conference in San Diego, and there were some very important people there, but the number one message was, don't put all your eggs in the one basket. Don't rely on Facebook because they can take it away from you. So I have been a maniac about getting email subscribers, and I've got 5,000 people nearly signed up to my newsletter. But it's interesting, in that demographic is the over 50s, whereas my Facebook was 35 to 50, my Instagram's 25 to 50. So I'm going to lose a bit of a demographic, and it's going to put me back 5 years. But local news, there's a desert in local news at the moment, and hyperlocals like In the Cove provide that information. And I'm the only one out of any news site that goes to the local council meetings, that reads the local council budget papers, that speaks to the councillors on a day-to-day basis. And there's been studies that show that when you lose local news, you lose local democracy.
And finally, Jackie, does it frustrate you that Facebook, on the one hand, finds it so hard to deal with fake news, misinformation, radical the radicalisation websites and so on, yet they shut down a site like yours?
Yes, I fact-checked everything and I'm shut down, but I noticed that Craig Kelly was still on there today. Work that one out. Yes, it's frustrating beyond belief. I've got a legal background, so I fact-check everything, and this is really a slap in the face to local news.